You send a normal message, nothing dramatic. Then the reply comes back a little colder than you expected. Maybe it is shorter. Maybe there is no emoji. Maybe they say, okay. And suddenly, your brain opens a courtroom. You read your message again. You imagine how they might have taken it. Then you send another text. Just to clarify, I didn't mean it like that. Then another. I only said it because. Then one more to make the other two sound less intense. 5 minutes later, your explanation is longer than the original conversation. I know this move because I have done it. At some point, I was not explaining the message anymore. I was trying to control the version of me that existed inside someone else's head. I needed them to understand that I was still reasonable, still kind, still worth respecting. I was not communicating. I was asking for my identity back. That is what over-explaining often is. Not too many words. An emergency repair job on someone else's opinion of you. And the internet has noticed this, but its solution is usually worse. It tells you that over-explaining is low value, so you should speak less, act unavailable, never defend yourself, make people wonder, stay silent so you look powerful. Now, every conversation becomes a status game. Every pause is a tactic. Every reply is a power move. Every person becomes someone you need to impress, dominate, or keep guessing. That is not confidence. That is the same fear in a darker outfit. You are still obsessed with how you look. You have only changed the performance. Before, you explained everything so people would think you were good. Now you explain nothing, so people will think you are powerful. Either way, they are still holding the remote. Real confidence is quieter than that. It is not the ability to control every impression. It is the ability to survive an incomplete one. Someone might misunderstand your tone. Someone might think your boundary is rude. Someone might see one bad moment and build the wrong story. You can clarify what matters, but you cannot enter another person's head and arrange every thought they have about you. Trying will exhaust you because there is always one more sentence you could add. One more reason, one more detail that might finally make them see you correctly. But if your peace depends on perfect understanding, you will never stop explaining. There will always be another jury, another conversation to replay, another person whose approval feels like the final missing piece. This is where the noise gets expensive. You start justifying reasonable boundaries. I can't come tonight becomes a paragraph about your schedule, your sleep, your work, and why you are definitely not upset with anyone. I need more time becomes a speech proving that you are not lazy. I disagree becomes an apology before the opinion has even left your mouth. You keep adding words because the simple truth feels too exposed. The extra explanation is armor, but sometimes the armor weakens the thing underneath it. A boundary does not become more valid because you defend it for 10 minutes. An honest mistake does not require you to insult yourself before anyone else can. A different opinion does not need a legal team. Sometimes one clean sentence is enough. The hard part is not finding better words. The hard part is sitting in the silence after them. That moment when the other person has not approved yet. That moment when they might still be disappointed. That moment when you cannot control the result. Over-explaining tries to remove that discomfort immediately. But discomfort is not always an emergency. Sometimes it is just the price of being a separate person. So here is the rule I use now. First, pause. Not to look mysterious, not to win some invisible power game. Pause because urgency makes everything feel more important than it is. Before you send the second paragraph, ask, does this misunderstanding change anything real? Did I hurt someone? Could this affect an important decision? Does this person need information they genuinely do not have? Did I communicate a boundary so poorly that it now needs repair? If the answer is yes, explain. Clearly, directly, without turning yourself into the villain just to prove you are humble. A real apology is not over-explaining. Correcting important information is not over-explaining. Helping someone understand a boundary is not over-explaining. Communication matters. The goal is not to become cold. The goal is to notice when communication has ended and approval seeking has taken over. Here is the difference. Clarification gives useful information. Anxious explanation keeps repeating the same information in different clothes, hoping one version will earn relief. If the misunderstanding matters, clarify once. One clean explanation. Then stop. Let the other person respond to what you actually said. Do not bury the truth under 12 softer versions of it. Second, if the misunderstanding changes nothing real, let it remain unfinished. This is difficult. You may feel the urge to fix it for hours, but not every wrong impression deserves your energy. Some people formed their opinion before you spoke. Some people only understand the version of you that is useful to them. Some people are having a bad day and will forget the conversation before you do. And some people simply do not know you well enough for their opinion to become your assignment. Let your future behavior carry the explanation. If you are kind, keep being kind. If you are reliable, keep being reliable. If your boundary was honest, keep it. Your life can make a stronger case than your panic ever will. Third, know when to leave. If someone repeatedly twists your words, ignores your boundary, or demands endless proof of your intentions, another paragraph may not solve it. You do not have to win every argument before you exit it. You do not have to convince someone to respect you before you start respecting your own time. Sometimes the cleanest explanation is distance. Not as punishment, not as a performance, as a decision. This is the deeper shift. You stop asking, how do I make them see me correctly? And start asking, what is the most honest action available to me? Maybe it is an apology. Maybe it is one sentence of clarification. Maybe it is holding the boundary. Maybe it is saying nothing else. Confidence is not always feeling certain. Sometimes it is feeling misunderstood and refusing to abandon yourself to make the feeling disappear. You can be warm without defending every detail. You can be accountable without putting your whole character on trial. You can explain yourself without begging to be approved. And you can let people be wrong about you sometimes. They will survive it. So will you. The next time you feel the second paragraph coming, pause. Ask whether the misunderstanding changes anything real. If it does, clarify once. If it does not, let your actions explain the rest. You said enough. Cut the noise. Let the message stand.